Guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday, where we take junk that we got for free or next to nothing and we turn it into home decor and furniture that we sell at our shop. Today we have this lovely...
It's an old radio cabinet.
Somebody dropped off on our back porch. It was actually Sue. It's missing a back. The radio cabinet's already been gutted, and we are going to turn it into a piece that we're going to sell in the shop. So we are actually going to get right to it this morning and get painted, because otherwise we will never finish. So first things first.
We got to put a back on it.
We got to put a back on it, but I'm not going to do that till we're done, because I don't want to accidentally get paint on it.
Oh, you don't want to put the back on? Okay, that makes sense. Let me show you guys the back. So I don't know where all the stuff was in here, but it does have a drawer, and I think someone added something in here. I'm not sure. The drawer doesn't look original, but it might be. It's for all your records. I'm not sure what was in here before because it was gutted before we had it. There's a little piece of cardboard and the diagram over here for how to wire it up. And I'm guessing this is a note for the installers. I'm not sure.
What we need is a flathead standard screwdriver, but do we have that putty knife? That'll work.
The putty knife?
The scraper knife? Do we have that?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Alright.
That'll work to get the screws
yeah,
out?
Yeah, you can actually, why don't you just start showing them how to, we can put the back on, it's okay.
You want to put the back on?
I'm not, well,
we're not going to paint the inside, are we? We're just going to wipe that out?
No, I'm just going to wipe it out. Let me see if it needs to be painted.
It's got this felt carpet thing here,
yeah,
probably
I'm just gonna vacuum that out.
Where a speaker was or something.
Ah, it's gonna stay. It's part of the charm. Let me just get
this. That's gonna stay.
Yeah, let me just get this off here.
So this looks like where the record player may have been. You pull that out, and then there were probably speakers and hardware and stuff over here. Looks like there was a little sliding shelf or something here, but we don't know. We didn't have it before. Oh. Maybe this is the shelf that got nailed down.
Yeah, we don't.
But we're going to make it into a fun little end table cabinet.
That's going to be a farmhouse cabinet.
Alright, so we're putting beadboard on the back. We just had a sheet of this, and I cut it with the jigsaw, and it jibbled some of this edge out. But not a big deal. That's going to be hidden along the edge here because I cut it large enough to fit. Alright, Jamie, I'm going to be shooting nails through here, so
okay,
watch out.
I'm going to look the opposite direction.
Watch yourself.
Don't shoot me in the back of the head.
I will try not to shoot you with nails.
No, I'll just shut the door and I'm just...
Here, why don't you just come around and say hi to people for a minute and a half while I nail this on.
Okay, hello. I am going to get out of the way. Hello, Mariah. We are going to be using DIY paint faux show. You know it. We're also going to be using primer because this thing is cherry and it's going to bleed like crazy.
Here, that'll fix all your problems.
Good day, everyone. Gerda. Somebody said no milk paint. I don't know what they're talking about.
Milk paint would be cool on here.
Maybe they were talking about my floors. My floors were milk paint.
Oh yeah, the floors were milk paint.
We could totally use milk paint. Maybe we will eventually. I don't know what layer we're going to get to today. You know, there's always different processes. If you have a problem with video and audio, just hop out and hop back in. Or be patient with the situation that is YouTube these days. This is we're going to use clear primer on this, and a pint would definitely do a size project like this. Sandy said she was trying to figure out what the spots were on the beadboard, and it was fingerprints on her phone.
No.
Does anyone use a lift to get furniture up where you can paint? If so, what brand do you recommend?
Lift.
I don't. But I get my friends together. Normally I just paint on the ground. Probably not the best option. Another thing that's really great is instead of you could get one of those mechanics chairs, and then you just lift your furniture up onto those mechanics wheelie bob things, and you can sit on a chair and paint. That's kind of helpful.
I had a nail go crazy on me here. It was shot out the side. That happens every now and then when you use nails that are much too long for your project. But since we're painting it, I'm not going to sweat it.
It's alright, Amy. It's just a newsletter exclusive we do every now and then. So if you guys have not signed up for our newsletters, definitely do that because you will get coupons from time to time. You can sign up for our newsletters just by going to JamiRayVintage.com and signing up, and JamiRayVintageHome.com. periodically you get insider advantages. He says, Kylie makeup. I don't know what that is.
All right, that's on there. I'm not doing anything more to that.
Tiffany, we're not having an IOD sale. We just had a coupon in our newsletter. So if you get our newsletter, make sure you find it in your stuff. We're not sending out another one. If you haven't signed up, make sure you sign up for our newsletters because periodically you'll get coupons. Oh, this is the taupe cardigan. It's the one that like has an X in the back. I kind of like it. It's fun. And Caitlin, if you're on, would you drop the link to this shirt and this cardigan? Por favor, mi amor.
All right, I'm going to scooch the table back.
All right, I'm going to move out of the way.
So that we have a little more room to work up front.
Okay, the problem is now you've moved that so far back, I'm not sure that I'll be able to get the other thing off.
Oh, that's okay.
So what I did was I just used this to loosen it, and then I took it off my fingers because I can't find my screwdriver.
Yeah, we've got, well, we probably have a whole kit
Also,
of
that's too far
screwdrivers.
back, like you're going to need to move it forward so I can reach it.
Oh, okay.
I know sometimes, you know, short people.
Yeah, I don't worry about that much with the reaching.
I don't like to
reach
lean
all the
over
way
too
in the cupboard.
And yes, for anybody wondering, we will vacuum and wipe out the inside. I asked Devin, like, did you clean out the inside? Like, no. Oh, Zebre.
Where's your, so rule number one, if you take hardware off, put the screws back in, inevitably you will lose the screws if you don't. You'll end up like getting done with the project and be short one screw or.
I take this fabric off,
something.
but I'm a little bit concerned about what might be underneath. So I'm just gonna vacuum it and then we will put some disinfectant scrubbing spray on it. And I like to leave like the original stuff from the maker since this was a radio cabinet. It gives people kind of an idea of the previous life.
This hardware's kind of fun. It's like this whole cabinet has kind of an Art Deco feel to it.
I'm just looking for cleaner. I'm gonna fill up my cleaner real quick.
All right, and is this the clear primer?
Yeah, but I gotta clean it first.
The Clear Salvation solution, it comes with directions right here. How to apply it. It says it's a wood stain blocker, apply to dry, can be applied in trouble spots or as a primer. Stubborn areas may need more than one coat. This product will stop discoloration from tannins or most pre-existing substances that could bleed through paint. And it does.
I'm just
It
using
does
the-
what it says it does.
and all natural Myers Clean Day cleaner, limited. This is the peony scent, I think, and it's actually my favorite.
Alright. So these come in pints, but a pint will cover a lot. 'Cause
Especially the clear.
It's pretty thin. The clear pint, I would say you could probably get away with doing like a whole full-size dress or a couple coats.
Yeah. Well, if you use the white, the good news is it does. The bad news is it takes a little bit more because it's thicker. But if you're painting something white, the good news is you wind up using less white paint because you've already got that white primer on there. So it's kind of sixes. But if you're not painting something white, then the clear definitely is a good option. Be
Look
careful
at
with
you
the clear.
reaching that, no problem.
Yeah, but I'm leaning over. Look up. Do you see my dirty shirt? That's what happens when I have to reach over.
Well, don't wear shirts that you don't worry about getting dirty.
I know, I just don't want my belly to get dirty. All right.
Aprons.
Yeah, be careful because it might drip. That's what I was gonna say. Because you don't want drippy primer because it is really thin.
I'm getting.
The white does not drip.
Okay,
as
I
much.
should have dried that out first.
Yeah, you gotta dry it off. You don't want to paint it well.
That corner is going to have to get reapplied.
Yeah, you want it to be dry. Make sure you get all the cleaner off. This cleaner is mostly water.
It's recommended that you let the primer dry for 24 hours before painting it. Since this is a live video, we're probably going to force the issue with a heat gun like we usually do on our live videos so that we can show you kind of what it's going to look like when it's all done before the video ends. But if you're at home and you're wanting best results, let it just sit and dry for 24 hours and then paint it the next day.
And the good news is now this is no longer on my back porch. I'm trying to look less like an episode of Hoarders. We've had lots of donations. I'm working my way through. I think I might have a sign that says full. I've been on the back porch when I don't have time to process anything else because everybody's so generous here and awesome. We get tons of stuff, but sometimes I don't have anywhere to put it.
Here, let me show you up close. The reason this is getting primed, it's a little bit slick on the finish, but there's quite a few spots you can see here where the finish has worn off and scratches and scrapes.
Scratches are a
And
prime place
then
for bleach.
this looks like probably oils from someone's hand or something opening it a bunch over the years. It's on this too, on this side where the handles are. So we're just going to prime it and eliminate those problems.
And we normally scrub before we go live, but we didn't have time, and this thing has been outside, so it is dirty. We've had a lot of rain and wind and dust blow up. Oh, it looks like the UPS man is here.
Yeah, he had a bunch of packages. That's exciting.
Yeah, we should have some new plus size leggings on the website tomorrow. Excited about that. What else did I order? I can't remember, just a few other things. Some new old sweatshirts. We had some sweaters that sold out that I was able to get some more of, so I'm excited about that. All right. I don't believe that the products are considered vegan because they could have animal byproducts, but there's nothing that they use on products, and they are all natural. Debbie's crazy about that. Even the primer is water-based. It smells like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, but water-based. Okay. It's rainy Washington. Leslie's in line to get on the ferry.
We got a little bit of rain the last couple of days, and I have the roof tar papered, but it's been slowing down the shingle process because I've been waiting for it to dry all the way out, and then it rains a little bit, and it's not like heavy torrential rain. It's been getting like light little storms and some wind, and it did blow. The wind was heavy enough it blew a piece of tar paper off yesterday, but got that fixed and back on, and shingles over that part, so we should be good.
Mariah says just sit on the table. Yeah, then my butt will get paint all over. This table is for serious. All right, I'm gonna help you. I actually grabbed 2 paintbrushes so we could both.
Yeah. Do you want to prime the sides since you can reach them from the back side?
Yeah, and then we will get started on a color. But I haven't picked a color yet. So, what color do you guys want? And don't say cherry picked. I've been using blue iris a lot lately, and that's been fun. But I'm over blue iris. I did like 6 or 8 pieces in it from the thrift haul. In fact, look, do you remember this from the thrift haul? I've been loving myself some blue iris and black wax, but I want to do something else on this. I want to do a little more farmhouse on it.
So let's say you've got a really slick piece on a vertical surface like this, and you find that your salvation solution is wanting to bead up a little bit. Just keep brushing it, and it will thin out and get to where it won't bead up anymore.
Yeah, it happens quite a bit, especially when it's like a really slick surface. So yeah, you just keep brushing it to spread it out thinner. It's just where it gets thick over like oil-based sealers that may already be on there. So I'm just gonna keep brushing this out and smoothing out those beads. They said water lily and black wax. That's not farmhouse.
It's French country with some flair.
That's French country with flair. Maybe you will use a fun new stencil on it.
That would be cool.
It'd be cool to do like the Wreath stencil on this, because this is a nice big flat surface.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Or what if we made... It makes it very specific if you put a Wreath stencil on there.
What if we do the window builder and do 2 windows on each side? So let's paint it black.
I realized I got this looking
I don't know
at the
why
ceiling.
we primed it to paint it black, but let's paint it black and then use the window builder.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Primer is still good because if there's grease spots, it will show through the paint. So.
Yeah, it'll make your black paint have like a little greasy black spot that's a little darker.
No. Actually, it's the window maker. I don't know why I call it the window. Whoa!
Hey, maybe you shouldn't stand on that stool that swivels.
Maybe, but I'm already here, so. Already here.
Here, can you?
You need to dip?
Dip my brush.
It reminds me of the song, like, what's the song? When I dip, you dip, we dip. Is that the Tootsie Roll song?
No.
I think it is.
I don't think it is.
Put your hand up on my, yeah, it's a Tootsie Roll.
Okay.
I know you never did the Tootsie Roll.
I never did it.
You did the Zebra freestyle when we were...
Every time.
Zeb was an amazing dancer.
Sure.
And when I say amazing, I mean...
There's a lot of sarcasm in that.
I thought that he might have had something going on inside his brain. Then I met him and he just...
Here's the thing, in high school, I was like, if it was popular or something that everybody was doing, I was not gonna do that, like at all. Like I did the exact opposite. So,
well, you know.
I'm still that way a little bit. Like if everybody's doing it, I'm like, nah, I don't want in on that.
Not a follower, Zebre. All right, that's painted. I will go find some black paint. Window bit. They're excited about the window. All right. Eric says I did not almost fall.
You gotta,
FYI.
you gotta call it the right thing, or no one's gonna be able to find it on the website.
Yeah, it's window maker. Window maker. Window maker. I need to find my.
All right. Should I start heat gunning this?
Yeah, heat gun it. I'll get you some black.
Okay.
We'll do some LBD.
Little black dress.
I shorten everything, so the little black dress becomes LBD. And I will go get the stencil while you heat gun. Oh, where's your brush? Make sure you do not let the shellac dry on your brush. It is not forgiving. Wash it out.
The Salvation Solution. Having trouble with your names this morning.
What did I call it?
Shellac.
Oh, sorry. Salvation Solution. Here's the window maker. I don't need to do that.
So where we have spots, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a piece of wood chunked off over here and some pretty serious scrapes. Look like it had a little bit of a time in a moving truck or something. We may have to come back later once we're not live and do another coat of the Salvation Solution and then paint. We're gonna try it since we're going black with the paint. It might not matter. This little black dress is pretty much one coat coverage and very pigmented, so, and if you've ever got it on your clothing, you know what I'm talking about. Or spilled it on your carpet, I've seen that. That's, it's hard to get out because of the pigments.
Oh, we need a new brush for the paint.
So the trick, if you are gonna heat gun your stuff, keep your heat gun moving. You do not want to overheat the Salvation Solution or burn like the paint or whatever you're doing. Just fair warning.
It dries rather quickly because it's super thin.
Yeah, it does dry fast.
That's pretty dry. All right, I'll see if we have questions. Are you answering questions?
Oh, they're saying don't leave your brush in DIY Big Top either. Nope.
DIY Big Top, though, is more forgiving than this kind of thing. Salvation Solution is a real deal.
Eric says he's partial to black velvet. It's a little bit more on the, it's not
like
as
chocolate.
deep of black. It's more muted a little bit. You can get paint on there?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do the sides.
All right.
Look, you reached all the way to the top and I didn't even have to move it forward.
Still, my shirt is
The shirt's done, it's already
well, at
done.
least we're filming from the back. I don't like it when I have to reach across and we're filming from the front, because then you can see my leftover 5-kid belly.
I just have leftover 5 burrito belly.
Yeah, black velvet is like the darkest gray possible. It's like a chalkboard gray. Think of like velvet fabric. You know how it's not like quite true black? That's why it's black velvet. This I'm only going to do one coat. Probably I might touch up a few places, but when I'm going to be doing like stenciling and stuff, I'm not super worried about 100% coverage because a lot of it's going to get covered up by the stencil anyways.
So we in the beginning of the video, we put the back on this, we put a new back on it. If you don't have access to a saw or even like a nail gun like I did, a staple gun will work on that. That beadboard is thin enough. A handheld staple gun will work. Usually you can pick those up for about 15 to 30
I don't know about
bucks.
a handheld. This is hardwood, so probably a hammer and a. Don't come.
Well, you could always hammer and nail. I've handheld stapled.
All right, I don't think it would work.
Just because you wouldn't be able to.
Well,
you can use a handheld stapler. But what I was leading into is you can get Home Depot or Lowe's, places like that will cut you a board to fit your size. You have to buy the whole board, but they'll cut your board for you. And if you go in there knowing your measurements on the back of whatever you need to put your backer on,
I heard
they'll
some
cut
places
that.
aren't doing it because of the situation, so make sure you call your hardware store ahead of time.
Yeah, I always forget about that. Like, there's
Certain
lots of
restrictions.
services are like out of commission right now, so watch out for that. Call ahead.
Yeah, or if you have any neighbors, it really just doesn't take that long if you have any neighbors with tools.
You can see, I'm gonna start heat gunning that other side.
Yeah.
You can see how well this covers. I mean, Jamie is basically one coat on this.
And this is covering over a shiny primer finish. I just kind of put it on there and then I like to smooth it out, but you gotta work quick because the paint will dry on you.
So this is the color it's gonna be without any sealer, and it'll come back to somewhere in between once we seal it.
You can pick up the paint and products we're using at JamieRayVintage.com. We'll drop that link in the description. The stencil we also carry, but we do have over 100 retailers. So if you go to JRV Wholesale, you can see if we have a retailer near you. All right. Then I'll start, oops, let me just fix those. I like to paint with the grain even though you can't see the grain. It's an old radio cabinet if you're just tuning in. It's had the guts removed. When we got it, the guts were already removed, but it was missing a back.
Which
So
is
then-
really great that it's already been removed because,
That's a lot of work.
yeah, sometimes you get these and you're like, oh, I'm going to spend 2 hours removing electrical stuff.
And vinyl is making a comeback. My daughter, who is 15, just got a record player. So if you have one that is functioning well, don't assume that you have to take it out. I would actually try to finish it and sell it to the younger crowd because vinyl is making a comeback. It's trending. So Zeb would not want to do it because it's trending.
Yeah, I probably would. I don't know, it's kind of like a niche thing, so I'd probably, if I had a cool cabinet, I would do it because you could sell them for like $1,000 if you redo a cool old record cabinet because it is coming back.
Yeah.
Like they're hard to find because most people have gutted them. So if you find one with the stuff intact or you're able to fix them, like it's a thing.
My daughter, that's what she wanted from my mom, was a record player. This, and if you can have a record player that also has storage for other things, which these generally do, that's also good.
Your nephew Zach asked me if he's like, keep an eye out for one of those. He's like, if you refinish that for me, I'm a buyer.
Well, and some of them you can convert to play records, but also have MP3 players and put in more modern speakers. That's kind of fun. That'd be a fun project to tackle.
Well, and they do make newer record players that have
yeah.
all that stuff on them.
Odelius does. All right, this side is painted. Oh, Zach has a record player. Caitlin says.
He's got one. He found one.
Yeah.
That was like almost a year ago now, and I was like, I don't really see them very often for sale with all the parts intact.
Yeah. Well, and some of them, they're just not functioning anymore. It's a lost art to repair things like record players, so finding somebody who's handy enough to do so might prove difficult if it's not working.
Okay, I think we're almost got this to the point. There's like, Jamie, can you hit, there's a spot up here that you missed with the brush. Can you, oh,
But hand it back when you're done. More foot more, Mia more. Okay. You need a paper towel to wipe your finger up?
no, I just did this and it's dry.
Well, it's super pigmented, so sometimes it transfers.
Well, I'll have enough black paint and things on me by the time we're done with this project. It'll be okay.
Be careful if you do go like the opposite direction, top and bottom, that you wipe back because that paint will dry fast and you get a weird ridge. So
Okay, I
If you
think.
can't paint fast, then only paint the direction you actually want to go in.
Yeah.
Because it will dry.
Well, if you see us, people accuse Jamie of slapping the paint on. The idea behind the way we paint is we get all the paint on, we just glob a bunch of it on there, and then real quick we come back through and smooth out all our brush strokes. Like this hasn't been sanded or anything, and it's looking pretty uniform.
Pretty flat.
And there's not even a lot of brush strokes in it. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but even here in person, it doesn't have a bunch of brush strokes in it because it just laid down so good with that brush.
Well, here's the thing. You brush quick, right? But then you also hold your brush at like almost parallel with the piece instead of up and down, and that will help reduce brush strokes. The only way to get all your brush strokes out is to spray it.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you brush strokes.
Do we have tape hiding anywhere?
Tape. I will find some if you want to open up that stencil and show it to him.
Okay, so this is the window maker stencil. It is, we have a leaf stencil that's larger, but this is pretty much like the biggest set of stencils you can get from us, and it's fun. You can kind of see the little sticker here, all the different pieces that you get, and then you can just like make any size window you want, and it works really well. And then it also comes with these hinge accessories, so you can do all kinds of fun different hinges and things and make it look like a window. Alright, let's see if this is big enough to do the arch up top. I don't know if it is. Okay, so it comes with a couple of different arches. And then there's this one here. Can you guys, oh yeah, you can see that. This one here, this one is a little more gothic and this one's a little more modern looking. Oh. How are we looking on tape? Did you want to arch the top? I think, well, it's going to come over just a hair if we do the arch. Oh, that's Jean, not Jamie. Hi, Jean.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for some tape.
Alright, so which one are we going to use?
I don't know, did you want to arch the top?
Can we do squares?
I think we can get away with doing the squares because, ooh, tape. Oh, that's gonna,
I got a trick.
okay, you put it on your pants first so it's not so sticky.
Yeah, I wanted to use.
So here's the thing, our cabinet is just small enough that this kind of overlaps here and overlaps here.
So what I would do is do this one on each side, and then is this big enough on the top? Or no, this one goes with this one.
Somehow we're getting black paint all over this. Where did you,
It's on my fingers.
okay.
Or on the table. It's right there. This one. So if you put this one like this, and you put that one next to it, then the arch fits on the top.
Okay.
So you need to do this part first and then that part. Get what I'm saying? So if you,
All right, I see
you
how
have,
it
these
lines
have
up.
to be touching, and then this is made to fit, and this will sit on this ledge right there.
Okay, so you just want me to do it right on the center. All right, use your tape trick.
All
I'm
right.
actually gonna leave this just sitting right
So
on the
you
bottom.
guys want to know my packing tape trip? You put it on your pants, and you remove some of the like fibers from your pants, and then it becomes painter's tape. It may still take some of the paint off, but we'll just be soft. All right,
Okay, that should
I got you a new
hold
brush.
it in place.
Which JRV stencil brush do you want?
This one.
All right,
Because this is a large stencil.
Yeah,
Although
so
the
which-
surface area is not actually
that's the
that
number
big.
24.
The number 24
Is it?
stencil
Yeah.
brush. It was time anyway. You've been using all of our stencil brushes for wax.
Yeah, I'll take these out of stock afterwards.
Okay, so this is the number 24. It is a really nice size if you need like a small brush, but you don't want to get like be all day stenciling.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's okay. Luckily
It's all
it's
right.
dry.
We'll wipe it
That
off.
is what happens when.
Our table needs like a good scrub down.
All right, you need white, right? Do you have white?
Yeah, I don't, whatever color you want.
I got a beadboard right here. We won't need much. So
Yeah, beadboard will be good on this.
beadboard's there.
Can you guys see that all right?
And then while you're doing that,
I'm used to looking at the camera the whole time, and now I've got to like look back and make sure I'm not blocking the view.
I'm gonna look for our box of stencils that have the
Okay, so DIY and beadboard, we're getting to the end of the sample, which is perfect for stenciling. Use up all those last little bits of paint. And I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna swirl on this one because I don't have the bottom tape, I only have the top to hold my position. Let me just try it here and see. We've been trying out this swirl method, and it's been going good on a lot of projects. Now that's working. I'm gonna have to do 2 coats to get good coverage with this beadboard over the black. And I am still offloading, even though I'm doing the swirl. You want your brush to still be on the dry side. You don't want a ton of paint because it will push up underneath still if you're not being careful. And I'm also just, you see I'm following around with the stencil where I'm stenciling at with my hand, helping press that down and keep that nice and tight, especially because you can't tape the middle parts. Even if you are taping the whole thing around the edges, it's hard to tape the middle parts down. So just hold it with your hand. You're gonna get a little paint on your fingers, it'll be all right. And this is thin enough that I should, by the time I get down here, I should be able to do my second coat up there, no problem, and it'll just go right on.
Is that watered down paint?
No, it's just, I think it's just because it's dark and I'm swirling instead of pouncing.
Oh, okay.
But the swirling is going
Do you
really
need me
quick.
to make you another custom piece of tape for the bottom?
No, I'm just holding it on the bottom. I'll move it over.
Okay.
We're good.
I'll answer questions while you're doing that.
Yeah, check and see.
Let's see what the people are
They're
saying.
probably having a conversation without us because they're all really good friends and they come to hang out while we paint stuff.
Yes, this is a piece for the shop. We'll sell it here. It's a really good bathroom cabinet. Let's see. Perfect storage, even a bedroom or bathroom. Let's see.
Well, it's got that fun drawer in there too, so it could almost function as a nightstand, except for you'd have to open it up.
Just to give you an idea of what this will sell for, when it's all done, we'll probably sell it for like $195 here in Utah. The furniture market's a little different here than everywhere else.
Some places you might be able to get like $300, $400 for it, but
Exactly.
and other places you might only be able to get $150.
Oh, I can take these off now. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm so used to wearing mine all day long because I've been using nail guns and stuff at the house. I just leave my safety glasses on.
I need to put my eyelashes touch it. What is your advice to get people to look at a piece of furniture and see other uses for it rather than its intended use? Tell them. So when you post it, either stage it for a different use or in the description say this would be great for, and then give them descriptions. Or you could even take one piece of furniture, stage it for use 3 or 4 different ways, and include all the different pictures in your description. Can you talk about the swirl technique? Yes. So Melissa Morrow from Rave Home Staging is a stencil artist. Her mom did a lot of trompe-l'oeil art with stencils, and she is the one who told us to swirl it. It's not as loud, you can shade with it, and
You'd almost get like a blended look, like I could come in from the edges and like do a fun shade effect.
Donna's excited that I got Melissa's name right. Hey, I've been practicing it. Melissa Morrow, Melissa Morrow, Melissa Morrow, not Monica. And it keeps it from going under the edges. It's really important to have a nice thick stencil and nice stencil brushes. That does make a huge difference. And one of the things that I thought was a huge compliment is Melissa told me, she's like, my mom was a stencil artist, I'm huge about stencils, and these are the best stencils. So I feel good about that, because I honestly hadn't done a ton of stenciling, only used a few different brands before I created my own.
Oh, I got a little bit of bleed through up here. I got too juicy.
It's all right.
We'll distress and it'll be okay. Whatever you do, don't heat gun your stencil. It will melt it and you'll be done.
Yeah. Although, you guys, if your stencils get bent, you can turn your iron on a really, really low setting, wrap your stencil in a towel, and quickly go over your stencil, and you can get wrinkles out of your stencil that way. Just be careful that you don't melt it. They are really thick, so they hold up better to that than other ones. So, hopefully that's a good tip. Dreaming Cat Studio says, I'm a Melissa too. it would make a cute coffee bar or a hot cocoa bar or whatever. This is like, for me, these types of pieces are gold because they're really, you know, it's not too deep, not too tall. There are a lot of great uses for it. You could even use it as a media cabinet if you had like a 32-inch TV and you needed places for like gaming consoles. It would work great for toy storage because you could put big buckets in there. Issa says, can you tell us a bit on how to grow from YouTube and a small room to partnerships? Having your own store now financially seems discouraging to many. So we actually have, I mean, that's probably way more of a loaded question that I could answer in a live video. We have business coaching and we go into detail about it. It's actually, if you go to like the channel membership.
We spend an
like,
hour every week diving into like those very questions.
So there's like basic channel membership and then there's business coaching level, and that's where we go into more detail. But you know, I started small. There's no secret. I wish there was. That's why it's more than I can tell you in like a single episode on a live video. We started small. I sold in my living room as opportunities presented themselves. I grew. I worked 1,000,000 hours a week. I took a portion of what I was making and I reinvested it. And anytime an opportunity has come my way, I prayed about it, decided if it was a good thing, and then went with it. And that's just how things have evolved. I did not go looking for any of the things. Like, I wasn't looking for a stencil company. I wasn't looking for my own shop. It just presented itself. And a lot of that is because of YouTube. So if I could give you any tips, it would be to continue to make content, and even when it's hard. We made content for years. 2 years we made content, right? Before we went to 5 videos a day, and we still were only making a few $100s a month. And it
5
was
videos a week.
Or 5 videos a week, not a day. 5 videos a week, and we were still making a couple $100s a month when we first started doing that. So essentially we worked the business that paid the bills and the business that didn't pay the bills. And we did that for years until the things that we wanted to do started making money, and then we slowly stopped doing like custom work and things and putting on markets and things like that, and like slowly went from that. So hopefully that helps give you some idea. I wish there was an easy way to put it, but yeah.
You got to put the work in.
Work.
There's no magic pill to it.
And be patient with yourself and constantly reinvest. So hopefully that helps. Carolyn says now we all want a cabinet like this. So you really could take this stencil and make windows. The thing about the window maker that's so amazing is that it's made so you can fit whatever piece. Like there's different squares, so you can make them rectangle, you can make them tall. You could take and do a stencil. I think we could even duplicate this again and do all the way across our piece if we wanted to.
Yeah, we could.
So that's why it's so awesome, because you can fit the piece that you have to work with. I also think this would be amazing for a mirror. Like if you had a big rectangular mirror, you could totally stencil on the mirror and do a wreath and then spray coat of sealer on there. I mean, it would obviously no longer be a mirror, but it'd be a cool art piece. Oh, thank you, Maggie. She says business coaching is totally worth it. I was really nervous when I started doing business coaching. People have been asking for it for a while. We'd never done it before, but I was like, we'll try it, and we just try to make sure that it's valuable to our business coaching members, and we have a lot of fun in there. So.
Well, and it's pretty interactive. Like they all pitch fun ideas off of each other and bounce a lot of things around.
Jason says, I started selling smalls in a store, and now I'm working for myself full-time doing furniture and custom builds. You got to believe in yourself and never give up.
Perfect.
I love it, Jason. Lolly's impressed with you swirling. Been worried about Eliza. Her shingles, I believe she should be ready to go back to practice today. She has a little bit of allergies, so we might hold off for 1 more week.
Fall has hit.
But her shingles have scabbed up. She went on her antiviral. She's doing great. Jack is back in football, even with his broken arm. So things are doing good.
Yeah, fall has hit, so all of our kids' allergies are flaring up because there's leaves starting to fall and lots of dust in the air and all kinds of fun stuff.
Thank you, Caitlin. Caitlin just posted the email. If you decide to join business coaching and you join on YouTube, you need to email creativebusiness@jamirayvintage.com. Make sure you spell Jami right, Jamiray vintage. And Mariah will get you added into the private Facebook group. That's where we go live. We use Facebook for the business coaching because YouTube doesn't have any interactive platforms. And I really like to be able to, in real time, answer concerns that my business coaching members have. So that's been good. Jen, I know, I never heard of a kid getting shingles either, but we did.
I had it when I was 9.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
So it's your genetics.
It's probably hereditary.
What was I saying? Oh, we do teledoc. So you like do the FaceTime, and we sent really great pictures of it. And then he sent the pictures to a bunch of other doctors, and based off her symptoms, that's what they diagnosed her with.
Well,
and
what's crazy is she has the chickenpox vaccine, so she's never had chickenpox, which is where shingles come from. It's dormant chickenpox vaccine, or chickenpox virus is what it is.
Yeah. But, yeah, the teledoc is great. We didn't have to go in any doctor. We have only major medicals, so we pay all doctor's visits ourselves, so it's only like $59. And then they do generic prescriptions, and so her antiviral was only like $4. Mary Lou's had a good idea. She said you can make it like a tic-tac-toe.
Oh, you could do, yeah, you could do all kinds of
Absolutely.
fun things
I think
with
this would be great to make oversized games with, because there's a few different size squares on that, so that would be fun. You could even maybe make a checkerboard.
I think it would be fun to like do this and on like even just like almost like signage, and then use all the mini stencils in the little frames, and do almost like a little display kind of thing, like on the side of a crate or something.
Yeah, that would be fun. Zeb, you're doing a really good job.
I know, I'm just swirling away over here while we have a chat.
What do I use to take off paint to original wood? Just don't like the color. Sandpaper or stripper. I hate stripper, but it does work. And I don't have tips for you because I don't use stripper. I just know that people do.
The cleanup afterwards is almost as bad as just taking the time to sand.
Yeah. I very seldom strip things down to raw wood. It's a lot of work. Zeb's sister called us yesterday. In fact, she wants to stain
She's
her
doing good. She's sanding the legs. She's like, if it takes me a month, it'll be okay because it's just for me.
Yeah, my sister is like, I want to sand the legs, and I'm like, you can sand the legs, but if they're not straight, don't like inevitably people will say this is really hard, and I'm like, yeah, that's why we only stain tabletops. But she's being patient.
Your tape trick worked. I just have a couple I missed. I went over the stencil down here.
Okay.
We'll have to paint, and then like a little distress there and a little distress there where I
But
was
the tape
a
didn't
little
pull the
too
paint
juicy.
off?
Nope, tape didn't pull the
There
paint
you
off.
go, you guys heard it here first. If your tape's too sticky and you don't have painter's tape, just put it on your pants. My pants are especially dirty because they have paint on them usually.
Okay,
DIY paint
so-
will cover latex. This is not black velvet, this is little black dress. Is there a transfer going over this window? No. So we are going to use the Wreath Builder stencil and put a wreath on this window.
You're still calling it the wrong name. You gotta stop.
Sorry, Wreath Maker. Wreath Builder is IOD. Don't hate me. Wreath Maker. I intentionally named it something different. So they have, just so you know, IOD has a stamp that would totally work. It's called Wreath Builder. But it's skinnier. So when I designed the Wreath Maker, I just wanted to make it something different. So it's a fatter wreath. And we also have the accessory pack that has all the different seasons and berries and things, so you build the wreath, and then you can go ahead and put things on the wreath, and then it looks like a seasonal wreath. So that's great. Jen's laughing that you told me you gotta stop. I think it's funny because people think that I'm the bossy one. Off camera. But he keeps me in line, which is necessary.
We have a good symbiotic relationship. Jamie does all the talking, and I worry about our public appearance.
I worry about public appearance. Let's see. Have you ever dipped the leg look? Have you ever done the dipped look leg on the legs of a piece? I think we have. It's been a while.
The dip? I like a blended or like a paint pour look.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
think we have on legs.
I think we did it on a paint pour dresser and we dipped the legs in gold.
Oh, yeah, on that very first pink paint pour that we did.
Yeah. So here's the thing too. On stencils like the one that he's using, if you don't want the lines where there's a separation, if you just slide the stencil down a little bit, you can fill in all the lines. So maybe Zeb will show you that. I don't usually worry, but
I can show you. It'll just take a second to do it.
yeah. A lot of people are like concerned that when you stencil there's lines. All you have to do is just slide the stencil over and just stencil where the line is, because there has to be lines. That's how a stencil's made. But you can totally fix that, no problem.
Don't heat gun your stencil.
I'm talking a little bit about fibro. One of the things I've noticed, so I don't know, I talk about it sometimes. I actually have arthritis. It acts up in the fall. Carbonation really affects me, so I try really hard not to drink soda because it makes me hurt. And sugar flares me up, so I try really hard not to do those two things. They said nice, Jane. Jane says you did nice. Did you just show them how to do that?
Do what?
Do the technique where you get rid of the line?
No, I just showed them.
Oh.
I lifted it up and they saw it when I heat gunned it.
Lolly, it is the lighting that makes it look light, but it's also not sealed. Little Black Dress dries very light because it's clay-based, but once you seal it, it gets dark.
Yeah,
Can you use dark and decrepit to tone down the brightness on a piece? Yes. You can use dark and decrepit like glaze. So you can either do it all over and then it kind of gets muddy, or you can seal it real quick with one coat of Big Top or Sweet Piggin's Top Coat or whatever, and then do the dark and decrepit, and then you get more of like a glazed detail look. Will we be painting the hardware? I don't know. I just took it off because
I'm really partial to like the coloration of this hardware, like the wear
got a
on
good
it
patina.
and the brass, and it's good. Okay, so to do what Jamie was talking about, let me see if I can.
What will we seal this with? I don't know. We probably won't seal it for a day to let the paint really cure.
All right.
So Zeb's just gonna slightly move it a little.
See, I just barely moved it over just a titch on the top there.
He's just gonna fill in where the crack was.
Oops, and I gotta be careful not to get the stuff all over the place. It's best if you wait for this to dry before you go start doing this, but see, I'm just lining my line back up.
Yeah, one of the great things about the products that we carry is they are non-toxic. So you can use them inside without having to wear a respirator. I paint inside all the time. Dreaming Cat Studio says, I like the lines.
Yeah, they don't bother me. I like them myself. I feel like it kind of lends to a artistic look.
Honestly, Amy Faye wants to know about it. I actually have not been to the doctor to get diagnosed. It's hereditary in my family. But I have noticed that it's not like degenerative, meaning like if I overuse myself, it doesn't make it worse. I find that when it starts to hurt the most, if I just keep moving, then it's better than if I stay still. It's a little bit of a pain to force myself to do it, but in the end, I'm glad for it. Donna says, I just call myself a hot mess and move on. It's true. Caitlin has a great attitude with it. If it gets really bad, she'll usually let us know and we just make it do. There's no paint emergencies. Wally says, wear compression gloves. I can't stand to wear any kind of gloves ever. I think that would take all the joy out of painting. Maybe someday I'll have to.
I'm just going to do that top part just to kind of show you. We'll leave the rest of it with the panes.
Well, we're going to cover it with the wreath.
Okay, we're doing the wreath maker now.
So, oh, that's so cute.
And it needs a little distress. I didn't quite line my lines up, so you know, if you're not in a rush and not in a live video, you can really be meticulous about it.
So I don't think we're gonna go with the outside because it's giant, but let's use this one because then we can get a wreath that will really kind of fit the space. Or do you want to do the floral one? I think this one.
Which one?
This one here.
The little one?
Yeah.
What color do you want to do
So
it?
start it there, and then you just go all the way around. And then you can even like back it up a little bit and make it fluffier if you want to. Let's get a green color. Do we have one out here? We did yesterday.
I put a bunch of
Here's
stuff
some new
up.
stencils. Let me grab you a green.
New brush.
New brushes. Sorry, I can't blame not eating today because I had those honey cinnamon Cheerio oat things. There's that one. That one open.
Okay, so Fancy Farm Girl. This is not open yet. It is now.
It is now.
Part of our damaged in shipping collection. All right, we gotta hurry. We've been live 50 minutes. I gotta go finish getting that roof on.
Yeah, we do. Sorry, I'm just gonna find you.
Okay, so just so you guys know, I'll show you this down here just in case you've not seen us do it before. I just got a little dab of paint and then I offloaded my brush until it's pretty dry. And you can see where I've been working with the white and where I used some browns from our Saturday night video. That'll give you a whole view of it. All right, so this I'm going to just kind of wing it a little bit. And this, I'm gonna pounce this too, because it feels right. Maybe I'll swirl. We're gonna swirl. I have not perfected the swirling yet. I think that's why I'm getting a little bit of bleed through. The pouncing I'm pretty good at. But you can see how fast this swirling is. It goes quick. Looks like because of the white paint on here, I'm gonna have to do 2 coats.
So what I grabbed is the accessory pack because the one that we had open was the 1st gen and we changed it before we released it to the public. The accessory pack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stencils. It's $37.95 and they are for all seasons and some stencils that are good for like non-seasonal items, and they're made to be loaded on to your wreath in your truck stencil to make unique signs. And really the idea behind the accessory pack is that you can take your basic stencils and customize them, so you're not having to buy 1,000,003 stencils.
You guys see that wreath on there better now that I moved close?
So I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to do anything seasonal on this because it's a piece of furniture. However, if I was doing a sign or a piece of decor, I would totally do something seasonal. We have some fall leaves, lemons, pine cones, pumpkins, little bells, some Christmas balls, roses, Christmas stars. I'm partial to the berry picks because I feel like those are good. Or you could do cotton stems are really cute. We have some bigger fruit. We also have the birds, they're cute, and the bows, and then some wheat. Who makes your Lehi t-shirts? They are done through a custom print company. So we don't have specifics. We use Printful a lot, but we're looking at getting our own screen printer. We design them ourselves though. They're not like something somebody else designed. Zeb was a graphic designer in a previous life. Do you want berries?
In a previous life.
In a previous life.
I was going to school to be one. We didn't quite make it. I ended up running with the discount tire career because they offered me a full-time position and benefits, and we were having babies, and you were like, yeah, let's do benefits.
Benefits. What made you decide to put a window on this? Because I looked at it and I was like, that is a big flat surface, perfect for a window. And people have been begging me to show you guys how to use the window maker, and I was like, no time like the present. This is actually, I'm not gonna lie, the window maker is the most exciting stencil that I made, at least for me, because I love old windows. I don't always have access to them, and they're pretty heavy, so I wanted to make a way that people could make old windows and decorate them without having to actually go find them. And I even thought it would be fun if you busted out, like if you want to get real crazy, you could do like a mirror type spray paint and then do the window, and then you could also do like the chippy or the crackle stencil to make the window look chippy and old. Like, I feel like once people start buying it and using it, you're going to see some really fun applications of this stencil.
All right, hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down on the swirl method. I've been doing it for half an hour now.
Jen says if we get our own screen printer, they'll never shut up with shirts they want us to make.
I know.
I know. So
we could do limited runs or whatever.
Yeah, we have lots of ideas. We always like to do all the things. My sister-in-law Mariah is super talented with stuff like that, so we like to.
She's pretty much made shirts for their whole town
Yeah,
that they
she
live
just
in.
uses her heat press. She's awesome.
She's actually got our old silhouette, and she uses a heat press that we sold her because we used to make all of our own merch.
We used to make all of our own merch with stencils and paint. That's part of the reason, guys. Oh, you guys are talking about growing your business. While he's doing that, I'll give you guys some free business advice. So when I first started making my own Jami Ray vintage stuff, I legit used stencils and paint and heat transferred and made my own jackets and shirts and aprons, and you guys can absolutely do that. Find a good font that you like. We actually carry tons of fonts in our stencils, and you can make yourself something similar to what your logo is, or if you have a vinyl machine, you can cut your own vinyl. I just know that's kind of expensive. And you can literally just paint with a DIY paint, use a heat sealer, and make yourself your own logo wear. Now, you do want to like hand wash it and be careful, let it cure for 30 days, all those things, but you can make your own logo wear.
When you're heat setting, like you want the fabric that you're like protective, but you want the fabric that you're heat setting to be hot. Like you want to get that paint really set in there. Because I have heard some people having issues with heat set, even with like the IOD inks and things, and you got to get it hot. Like
You gotta
on
get
the
it as
cotton
hot as
setting,
you can for
don't
the
burn
fabric
your
to use.
shirt, but you know, iron that thing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Zeb, are we gonna add, do you want to add some leaves and some berries, or?
All right, let me bring you close. So I think I'm only gonna do one coat. I think
because
we're gonna
we're
put
gonna-
more stuff on there, so it'll be fine that you can kind of
Let's-
see the frame underneath a little bit.
Maybe do some leaves on there, and then we'll do berries, you think?
So my spacing, it's designed, I think, to have a little bit of spacing in between. You can see my spacing is off just a little bit.
Yeah.
So in the future, what I think I would do is put the arch on first and then line these edges up so that it's nice and easy. Because we played with the original one and then we got this and we've been so busy on the house, we actually haven't played with the amended set.
For the correct one?
Yeah, with the one that went public.
All right, I'm going to do, they wanted us to do some shading.
Shading?
So, the trick
That's
with
asking a
this-
lot.
I know, the
I've
trick.
not done that.
I'll do it. The trick with this is that you want to layer on your accessories, and then you come back with the wreath over the top so it looks like it's nested in there, and I'll show you what I mean. So a lot of wreaths have they have stuff on the bottom, on the side. I like a good bottom layer, so I'm gonna get my brown and my orange. Oops. I act like I'm a professional stenciler. Zeb is,
Just make sure you offload and you'll be fine.
okay.
You can't mess it up and don't shift.
No shifting.
Those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
Offload your medium and don't shift.
Okay, so I'm gonna come in with some brown. I offloaded too much. And then I'm gonna get a little bit of orange on my brush. And I'm just gonna come in there. And there you go. Got the, oops, there must have been white on the bottom of this.
That's okay, we got some black
There's
paint.
snow! There's snow!
Here, wipe it again because it's just gonna go again.
Alright.
Like wipe that off. You must have set it on my
I did.
offload spot.
Alright, this one I want to do a little more orange and less brown. There's probably like a way more technical way to do this, but I don't care.
No, you're getting the color variation in there.
Okay. I'm going to come to the other side. Now I know that looks a little funny, guys, don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm gonna...
Jen says that when they were kids, their sister had an iron-on patch for a t-shirt. She put the iron on it and then went to go get the mail and burned her shirt and everything.
Oh, be careful. Don't go get the mail. Okay. Do we have a red for the berries?
Let me see. I'll go look and see. I had a red out. That red you mixed the other day would have been
I know,
really
Optimum.
good. Oh, Mariah wants me to zoom in. All right, I'll bring you guys close so you can see. Jamie's using a lot of paint, so just so you know, she's not offloading.
So I'm just gonna come in with the brown on this. I need you to go give me your red real quick.
Okay. Oh, you're
So-
gonna do the berries?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the berries. So I'm using the big brush for the brown, and then I'm gonna come and do the berries, but I can't move my hand.
Okay, I'll go get you some.
Sorry.
I gotta put this back up.
Sorry. I'm like, Zeb, you do all the boring stuff, and I'm gonna come in and play.
I built it, and now you can design it.
Yes.
That's how we do it at the house, too.
Teamwork is dream work, yeah.
You know, you're like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, we probably have to do this, this, and this. And you're like, okay, that'll work. And then I build it, and then you make it come look good.
Better if you let your your layers dry, guys. Start in the middle.
Oh, you're just going without offloading? You're gonna get juicy.
Start in the middle and go around the edge.
Tell them what number brush that is.
This is the 12.
I love that you checked.
Well, I don't know. It's a skinny brush. If it were me, I'd be like, this is the skinniest, this is the next skinniest, this is the largest. All right. Okay. Now we've got that added on there. And we will, I'm gonna wipe off the back of this because that leaf was a little wet.
I'm gonna take a damp paper towel. I'm gonna go get one wet and see if I can clean up that white paint where you got it off over on the edge.
Okay. Let's do this other brown part. So I'm just doing the middle of my berries here, and then I'm going to come back and do the tips with the red. Okay. You guys get the, now look, it looks like it's just sitting on top, right? Like, oh no, let me dry it. Now we're going to come back with the green.
Oops, rubbed it back to the dresser.
It's okay, I would just paint over it.
Well, I just want to get it off because I think if you paint over it, it'll leave like a little spot.
All right, now we're gonna go back with the green. And we're going to make these look like they are.
Just make sure you don't have stuff on the back of
I
it.
would, yeah.
I'll paint over that in just a second. Well, he got
All right, so just this little area right here where the picks kind of go into it. I'm just gonna add some more leaves.
All right, I'm gonna move the camera close to you, so just careful not to kick it.
Okay, there we go. And I'm just, see how I just layered the leaves over the top? That just makes it look as though it's buried in there. I'm just gonna use these right here. It looks less like you just like stencil on top of a stencil. You could totally do like a masking technique, kind of like you do with the IOD stamps, but with paint, you have a little bit more
All right,
flexibility.
let me fix my mess I made.
All right, now you fix your mess. Oh, you know what we could totally do with this?
You have more you want to do?
Yeah, just real quick, let me find my,
Oh, you know what? We didn't put hinges on.
oh yeah, you can do that. But we have these Corbel stencils.
Oh, that would be cool
So
on the
let's, because I
side.
feel like there's a lot of void here. So this is a Corbel pack. It's got 2 in it. They're the same. So you can do one here and one there. So
Okay.
let's do some Corbels. We're gonna
You
build
want
the
them
scene.
just in, we're building the whole scene?
Yeah,
You
here's
want
the
those in
Corbels.
white?
Yep, just do those in white. I'll go look at comments.
This is a big brush to be doing this
Yeah.
little bit of painting cut right here. And that'll, once that dries out, we'll distress it, it'll be okay.
Barbara, if IOD gets more in there, then we will have more of the Boughs of Holly molds. You can flip them. The Corbel, this particular Corbel set comes with 2.
Yeah, because sometimes you're trying to do like a thing and you don't want to have to like wash your stencil off to...
Yeah. This is very cottagey. So if you didn't want it to look too seasonal, you could totally just do greenery and berries and do like a big fat green wreath on it. Shutters would be cool. Maybe we'll add some shutters in the next release next year. We're slowly evolving our stencils.
Well, we have like 200, so...
I know. We have so many, for sure. All right, so he's gonna use one of our Corbel stencils. Do you want to, I can fix
I'm just
the
gonna
camera.
line it up on the edge.
If you're just tuning in, you can pick up these stencils and paint at jamirayvintage.com. Or if you go to JRV Wholesale and you just want stencils, because I don't know what all my retailers carry other stuff, we do have over 100 retailers if you want to find a local stencil retailer. But if you're looking for the paint and the stencils and you don't have a local retailer, definitely hit up jamirayvintage.com. We ship all the time. Lolly, the IOD ordered more than they technically should have based off of their current trajectory of sales. They are just bomb.com. They also like to be 100% transparent, they have to order from overseas, and so sometimes that limits the quickness of things with the current situation. But in all things considered, they are working super hard around the clock to get things to people. I keep in touch with them, and I'm impressed with how they are dealing with the crazy demand for their products.
They basically are under the firing squad right now.
So we don't have 200
from all sides, from retailers wanting things and customers wanting things, and
we have 136 stencils, Zeb.
136. Yeah, it feels like 200. There's over 200 pieces. How about that?
Yeah, if you count the separate pieces in the packs, then yeah.
Did Mariah look?
No, that was Caitlin.
I'm not gonna get 2 coats on this because it's about time to.
It's fine. We don't need
Oh,
2
you changed
coats.
the angle of the camera.
Well, I wanted them to be able to see
to
it.
crazy angle.
Crazy angle. It's like the good angle. Let's do the other side real quick.
Can't even
and
see
then-
it straight on.
I think once we distress this, it'll kind of bring home the look. So I think that this is perfect. If you've got a flat dresser, like how much awesome depth does it add? Another thing you guys can do with the stencils is use like a joint compound or salt wash on it, and you can do like a textured stencil to make it look a little bit 3D, like it's coming off your piece. So that's really fun. We also have a stencil that looks like balusters, kind of like picket fences, so that's great for adding textures and building scenes. There's just really a lot of, we wanted to give you guys ways that you could, instead of just a stencil that's like, okay, this is a single use, I wanted to make stencils that you could have unlimited creative potential. So, Deb is doing a good job. Dreaming Cat Studio wants to learn how to do freehand painting. That would be awesome. I also thought, you know, these windows would be great if you wanted to seal them. You could put IOD transfers on them too.
So you guys will have to check community out or our Instagram.
We'll show this once it's all finished.
Jami will put a picture up when this is all done and sealed and distressed and
all the things.
And we get hinges on.
Oh yeah, where's the little hinge pack?
It's probably right there. It's right here under the corner.
So we made it to where you can also add like hinges and latches to really get that old-timey look. So if you want to look like it has like a little latch, can you guys see that on the bottom? You could put this on the bottom, or like, you know how sometimes windows have these on them? You can really make them look old. So they've got a ton. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that come with the window maker. So.
All right.
Ta-da! I like it. Good job. I also dropped the black paintbrush on the floor, so be careful. Watch out for that one.
So there's the whole thing together. We'll distress it. It'll make it look like it's not so stark.
Then we'll put the
I think
I think
putting
some
the
white
hardware-
wax on the hardware maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's a little bit like garish. Is that the word? But I think it turned out awesome. So you guys could use this on a piece of furniture. You could use this on an old piece of plywood, on a mirror. Really, any flat surface is a great opportunity to create a window and a wreath without spending $1,004. I don't know if you've tried to buy wreath accessories lately, but you could spend $100 on a wreath. This allows you to have unlimited potential to create different seasonal wreaths, everyday wreaths, whatever you want. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit up JamiRayVintage.com for the paint products. You can hit up Jami Ray Vintage Home for the clothing or home decor if you're interested. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, a painted thumbs up.
Painted thumbs up.
And subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY. And just really quick.
Okay.
Really quick.
We thought we were going, but not yet.
Well, LM had a question. LR. I am in England. What is joint compound? It's basically like lightweight spackling, like
What you use to
fill
repair
cracks.
holes, yeah. Just a lightweight, and it works with these stencils because they're really thick, so it can hold up to doing it. If you use a flimsy stencil, when you try to use it, they just roll. So Lolly says drywall mud. So something similar to that.
There you go.
All right, love you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Catch you guys later.